Hey everyone, welcome to Models and Agents, episode 69 for June 3rd, 2026. Your daily AI briefing. The AI world never sleeps. Here's what you need to know today. Microsoft is shipping hardware built from the silicon up to run AI agents instead of conventional apps. The company unveiled Project Solara as a full chip-to-cloud platform for agent-first enterprise devices. OpenAI added 3 new Codex plugins aimed at investing, sales, and creative production tasks. Uber set a $1,500 monthly cap per employee on each coding agent tool. Anthropic broadened Project Glasswing access while responding to the new White House AI executive order. Microsoft and Mayo Clinic are jointly building a frontier healthcare model. Project Solara spans custom silicon through cloud orchestration. The system targets workloads where agents replace conventional software interfaces entirely. This marks a concrete step beyond software-only agent frameworks. It focuses on persistent agent execution, memory management, and tool orchestration. Builders working on internal enterprise automation should watch for early access programs or reference designs. The move signals Microsoft's intent to compete directly in the agent hardware layer alongside its software efforts. Microsoft and Mayo Clinic announced a partnership to build a frontier AI model for healthcare. The effort combines Microsoft's scaling infrastructure with Mayo's clinical data and domain expertise. The focus is medical reasoning and workflow tasks. No parameter count, benchmarks, or release timeline were disclosed. Healthcare teams should monitor for early evaluation access once internal testing begins. Anthropic extended Claude Mythos preview access to roughly 150 additional organizations. The organizations span more than 15 countries under the expanded Project Glasswing program. The move broadens testing of the preview model beyond the initial cohort. Teams working on high-stakes or regulated domains should track future updates for potential early access. Researchers released Typewriter LM, a 7.24 billion parameter model. It was trained exclusively on English text predating 1913. The release includes a 54 billion token typewriter corpus and supporting evaluation resources. The work covers leakage mitigation, temporally consistent post-training, and a new history event benchmark. The model and datasets are publicly available for research on historical language modeling. Uber instituted a $1,500 monthly spending cap per employee per AI coding tool. The cap applies only to agentic coding software such as Cursor and Claude Code. The policy responds to rapid budget overruns that exceeded 2025 forecasts. Engineering teams evaluating agent adoption should model similar per-tool budgets. OpenAI released a public equity investing plugin for Codex. The plugin moves users from natural language questions directly to model-generated investment analysis. It joins the growing set of domain-specific Codex extensions. Finance and investment workflow builders can test the plugin through the Codex interface. OpenAI launched a sales plugin for Codex. The tool helps users prepare faster and sell smarter through agent-assisted workflows. The focus is sales-specific tasks within the Codex environment. Sales operations teams should experiment with the plugin on representative deal prep tasks. A new post outlines rules for keeping agents effective by defining clear boundaries. The guidance emphasizes preventing agents from executing unverified external actions. It also warns against making irreversible decisions without oversight. Practitioners should review their current agent permission models against the recommended guardrails. SEA embedding provides a fully open and reproducible text embedding pipeline. It was trained only on public data for Southeast Asian languages. The work studies data composition, training objectives, and base encoder choices. It achieves state-of-the-art results on the SEA-BED benchmark. Researchers working with SEA languages can reproduce the pipeline without proprietary data. A community benchmark tested LLMs on strict two-dimensional spatial constraint adherence. It used a custom Sokoban puzzle that forbids chain of thought and requires exact directional output. Top-closed models including ChatGPT, Xuan 3.7 Max, and Gemini 3.5 Thinking succeeded. Several other variants failed on illegal moves or formatting. The prompt and map are shared for others to replicate. Okay, let's pop the hood on hallucination mitigation for a moment. One recent approach treats hallucinations as orthogonal noise vectors in the residual stream. These vectors can be identified and suppressed at inference time. The method uses the current input residual as a dynamic anchor. It then performs layer-wise orthogonal decomposition on attention head outputs. A z-score threshold attenuates only the outlier components that point away from the context subspace. This adds a modest per-layer computation cost but avoids retraining. It preserves performance on knowledge-heavy tasks where blanket suppression would hurt. The technique shows the largest gains on summarization and instruction following benchmarks. It maintains trivia QA and truthful QA scores. Teams already running inference time interventions should test whether adding a lightweight orthogonal projection step improves faithfulness. The main gotcha is that effectiveness depends on having a reasonably accurate running estimate of the context subspace. Test the new Codex sales and creative plugins on a real workflow. Run the shared Sokoban prompt against any new models you have access to. Review your current coding agent spend against Uber's $1,500 per tool monthly cap. Experiment with SEA embedding on any Southeast Asian language retrieval tasks. Further details on Microsoft Project Solara, reference hardware, and early enterprise pilots are expected in the coming weeks. Additional Codex domain plugins are likely as OpenAI iterates on the plugin framework. Expanded Project Glasswing cohort announcements from Anthropic are expected as the program scales. Tomorrow, keep an eye on further details on Project Solara, reference hardware, and early enterprise pilots. That wraps up today's AI briefing. Share this with a developer or builder who wants to stay current. Subscribe wherever you listen. See you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the Nara Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Unintended Consequences a listen. True stories of good intentions that backfired. You can explore the whole lineup at neranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.